Hello everybody and welcome to day 23. So it is a Saturday. I've got this full 1 hour class. It's a really great one. We're going to build up some heat, possibly get you sweating a little bit. I want you to open up the shoulders for this one. We're going to find a little bit of back bending, working into those shoulders, into that spine, even into those hips. So it's a really great all-rounder. I really hope you enjoy it and I'll meet you back on the mat. Okay, so we're going to start today's class in a child's pose. So we can take ourselves more towards the back of the mat, and then if it's comfortable for you to let your knees come apart, those feet together, and then sink those heels down towards, those hips down towards the heels, and then reaching those arms out in front. You can either have the knees together, just giving yourself a little extra support. But wherever we are, I want you to close your eyes. This is such a great pose for feeling grounded. You can feel the mat underneath your hands, underneath your arms, the tops of the feet pressing down, the knees, and maybe even that forehead is pressing down into the ground. We're starting to notice the breath now. Notice that inhale, breathing into the back, breathing into the ribs, the shoulders, the hips, and then exhale, let it all go. And again, inhale. Really send that breath all the way into the body, all the way into the shoulders, the ribs, the hips. And exhale, release. And again, inhaling through the nose, filling the body up, opening up. And slow exhale out through the nose, letting that body melt down towards the ground. Just gently now start to take a little bit of a rock side to side, opening into those shoulders a little bit, into those hips. If the forehead is down on the mat, just gently rolling between those eyebrows. And then slowly coming back through center. Just gently start to take those hands over towards the right. Just finding this big reach over with that left hand. Inhale here, breathe into that left hand side. Exhale to stay. And then slowly walking the hands all the way through center, over towards the left. Reaching that right hand all the way across. Big breath into the ribs. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing those hands back through center now. From here, I want you to take your gaze forwards in between your hands. We're going to slide all the way, nice and low, all the way onto our belly, coming forwards. Those toes are untucked. And then the hands are underneath the chest or underneath those, by those ribs. And we gently start to press into those hands. Find our cobra. Start to roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest. Inhale. As we exhale, we slowly lower back down. Press through the hands and the knees and take yourself all the way back to your child's pose. So hips back towards the heels, opening those shoulders. We're going to go through that again. Inhale, look forward, sliding all the way nice and low. I want you to go straight into your cobra. So gently start to press through those hands, lift the chest. Exhale, we lower back down, back through our child's pose. All the way, hips sinking down. And again, inhale, look forwards, sliding all the way through into your cobra. Lifting that chest, exhale, lower back down, press through the hands and the knees, back to our child's pose. We do one more time. Finding that nice transition, we inhale, look forward, sliding all the way through straight into our cobra, lift the chest. Exhale, lower back down. This time we press through the hands and the knees. I want you to stop, in your tabletop position. So just rearranging, finding that nice comfortable tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, fingers spread. Just start to rock forwards and backwards now. Warming up through those wrists. Inhale. And exhale. You can start to draw some big circles, going clockwise. And then changing direction, anti-clockwise. You can even flip your right palm, just gently rocking forwards and backwards. Just finding a little bit of space in those forearms, in those wrists. And then swapping the hands, flipping that left palm. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing those hands back underneath the shoulders now. Inhale as we scoop the belly down, lifting the chest, lift the chin, draw those shoulders back. Exhale now to round the spine, press down through those hands, tucking the chin. And again, inhale, scoop the belly down, lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale to round the back, press down through those hands, finding space in between those shoulder blades. One more time now, inhale, scoop the belly. And exhale, rounding the back. Coming back to our tabletop position here. From here, we're going to extend the right leg out behind. And then from here, keeping that core nice and engaged, we start to extend the opposite arm out in front, so that left arm reaching. We're going to find that cat-cow motion again. So as we inhale, I want you to scoop the belly down a little bit. See if you can lift that arm, lift that leg a little higher, and that chin can come up. If you want, you can curl that back leg in, so bending that leg. Inhale here. As we exhale, we then round the spine, bringing that knee and elbow together, so crunching underneath. Again, we inhale, extend, find that lift, you can bend that leg. And exhale, crunching underneath. Now taking it nice and slowly. And again, inhale, extend. And exhale, crunching it in. Then bringing that hand and that knee back down, just wiggle those hips a little bit side to side before we go through the other side. This time extending the left leg out behind, then start to reach that right hand out in front. Feeling that core engaged already. Then we find that cat-cow motion. We scoop the belly down, lift the arm, lifting that leg. You can bend that leg, curling it in. Inhale. Exhale, we then round the spine, knee and elbow together. Press down through that hand, finding that rounding in the back. Inhale, extend once again. Find that lift, bending that leg. Exhale, round the spine, knee and elbow. Inhale, extend, lifting. And exhale, rounding, crunching it in. Bringing that hand and that knee back down. Rocking those hips side to side one more time. And then from here, just make sure that those hands are shoulder distance apart, fingers spread. We're going to tuck the toes underneath, press through those hands, lift those hips up and back to your first downward dog. So from here, just bending into the legs, pressing through those hands to make sure that those hips are traveling up and back, so you're lengthening out through the spine. Just check in, make sure you can shake your head so that neck is nice and released. If this is a little bit too much pressure on your wrists, you can start to turn the hands just slightly outwards, so those index finger and the thumb are pointing more up towards the top of the mat. That just takes up a little bit of that pressure off your wrists. Inhaling here. Exhale to stay. Starting to walk through the feet, just finding a little bit more space in the back of the legs, drawing one heel down at a time. Inhaling and exhale. And then planting those feet. I want you to inhale, come up onto the toes, lift the heels nice and high, really stretch out through those toes, and then exhale, draw the heels back down. See if you can draw those heels a little bit closer towards the mat. We go again, inhale, lift the heels, stretch out through those toes. Exhale, draw the heels down. This time we inhale, come up onto the toes, And then keep that roll, that ripple going through the spine. We rock all the way forwards to our high plank position. Shoulders over the wrists, squeeze that core. Inhale, we take the hips up and back, find that downward facing dog. So see if you can find that rippling through the spine, so you're rounding out through that back. We inhale, come up onto the toes. Feeling that lift from the hips, we then round through the spine, start to rock all the way forwards, finding that high plank position. Exhale, take the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Nice. This time we inhale, come all the way forwards to that high plank position once again. Strong core. Exhale, we take a chaturanga, shifting forward so the shoulders come past the wrists. Drop the knees down, core strong. Elbows back by the ribs, halfway down. And then all the way onto our belly, untucking the toes. Inhale here, we gently press into those hands, lifting into that cobra we found before. Little different. Exhale, look over the left shoulder, finding as twists. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, looking over the right shoulder. Twisting through that spine. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, lower all the way back down towards the mat. Bringing your hands just a little bit closer towards those ribs, so sliding them back a little bit. Coming into our upward facing dog now. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat to lift the legs. Press down through those hands to lift the whole body up off the ground. Hips sink down, shoulders roll back. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze that core to lift the hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog once again. Start to walk through the feet. Inhale and exhale. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. And then as we exhale, I want to bend the knee and open up that hip. So as we open up that hip, the right hip stacks on top of the left. Drawing that right foot in towards that glute. So you're really feeling that stretch through that right hip flexor now. Inhale. Exhale to stay. We're going to shift all the way forward so that shoulder comes over the top of that wrist. Finding wild thing, but this first variation, I want you to drop that left knee down and then take that left foot out towards that left-hand side. We then lower those right toes, just tap down on the ground. Press those hips forwards and open the chest towards the ceiling. So this is a variation of our wild thing with that knee down on the ground. Inhaling here, open that chest towards the ceiling. As we exhale, look back down towards the mat. Place that hand down. Tuck the left toes, lift back up to our three-legged dog. Exhale, bringing that foot down, walk through the feet. And then we'll try that on the other side. We inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to bend the knee, open up that hip. So just notice now that when your hips are square, that left hip is drawing down towards the ground. When the hips are open, that left hip is stacking on top. Inhaling here. As we exhale, I want you to shift forwards. So you're almost finding that high plank position. And then dropping that right knee down, take that foot out towards the side, and then gently start to open the body. Let those toes touch down. We press the hips forwards and open the chest towards the ceiling. Finding this modified wild thing. Inhale. Exhale, look back down towards the mat. We plant that hand. Bringing that right foot back, tuck the toes, lift all the way up to our three-legged dog. And then exhale, bringing that foot back down, walking through the feet. Inhaling here, and exhale. Now we'll try wild thing again, but this time we have the option to take that knee off. So from here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale to bend the knee, open up that hip once again. So we inhale, shift forwards, finding that high plank with that shoulder over the wrist. Option to drop that left knee or keep it lifted. We let those toes touch all the way down. Press through those feet, open the chest, lifting those hips up nice and high. Inhaling here, strong in that supporting arm. And then exhale, look back down towards the mat. Planting that hand, lifting all the way back up to our three-legged dog. Right leg up and back, inhale. Exhale, I want you to bring that foot all the way through between the hands, big step up, drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. Just check in, make sure that that right knee is above that right ankle. Sinking those hips down now, we inhale, start to lift the arms, finding this low lunge. Inhale here, lift the chest. As we exhale, start to straighten that front leg now, finding our half splits. Bring those hands down, flexing that front foot. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, find another halfway lift, finding space, breathe into the belly. Exhale, fold a little bit more. Can you get that nose a little closer towards that knee? We then inhale, shift forwards. Plant those hands. I want you to step all the way back to your downward facing dog. Walking through the feet when we get there. And then going through the other side now, we inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to bend the knee, open up the hip. Moving through into our wild thing, we inhale, shift forwards. You can drop the knee down if you want to, or just letting that foot fall all the way behind. Press those hips up, open the chest. Let that body open up towards the ceiling. Inhaling here. And then as we exhale, look back down towards the mat, plant that hand, flipping back, three-legged dog. Left leg up and back, inhale. Exhale to bring that foot all the way through between the hands. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. Again, making sure that that knee is above that ankle. We inhale, lift those arms up, finding that low lunge. Sink those hips down, lift the chest, reach those arms up. Inhaling. As we exhale, start to straighten that front leg. Bringing those hands down, finding your half splits. Flex that front foot, pulling those toes back. We inhale, find a flat back, this halfway lift, trying to get that belly away from the thigh. And then as we exhale, we draw down a little deeper, nose towards the knee. And again, inhale, find that halfway lift. Exhale, can we fold a little bit more? This time we inhale, shift forwards. Plant those hands, tuck the back toes, stepping all the way back to your downward facing dog. Once again, walking through the feet. Slowly now, take your time. Walk the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat. Meeting in a forward fold. Feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forwards, a little micro bend in those legs, and then just let the body hang. Just take a little sway side to side. You can shake your head or nod your head, just releasing that neck. Take a big inhale and exhale, release. Taking your time now, start to roll up through the spine, nice and slowly. Head coming up last. And then once we get there, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Arms by the sides, palms facing forwards, tucking the pelvis underneath. Inhale here. Breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest, filling the lungs. And exhale, letting it go. Bring the feet together now. Letting those toes come together, just the heels slightly apart. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, taking a forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, but sliding the hands up the shins, that flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right leg back only. Big, long step. Drop the back knee down. We inhale, sweep the arms up, find that low lunge. Lift the chest. Straight away, exhale, I want you to bring those hands down. Stepping back through your vinyasa, so step back through high plank. Inhale. Exhale, take a chaturanga. Shifting forwards, you can lower the knees or maybe just one knee, or keep them lifted as you lower down halfway. Then flipping onto the tops of the feet, lifting those legs and those hips, find upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back to our downward facing dog. From here, we inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to bring that foot all the way through. See how high we can step that foot up. Drop the back knee down. Find that low lunge once again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Big breath in and exhale. Reach those hands out in front to step all the way up to the top of the mat. Toes touch. We inhale, find a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You can even take a hold of the backs of the legs, drawing yourself down. Inhale here, we roll up to standing. Sweep the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, bring the palms at the chest. Other side, we inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. And as we exhale, plant the hands, left leg steps all the way towards the back of the mat. Big step, drop the back knee down. Inhale here, we lift the arms, pressing those hips forwards. Can you lift the gaze up towards the ceiling? As we exhale, bringing those hands down. I want you to do one long exhale, stepping back through high plank, straight into your chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog. From here, finishing this round off, we inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale to step that foot all the way back up towards the top of the mat. Drop the back knee down, setting up for your low lunge. We inhale, sweep the arms up. Press those hips, lift the chest, inhale. As we exhale, reach those hands out in front. Big step up to the top of the mat, toes together. We inhale, find a flat back, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Drawing yourself down. Inhale, rolling up to standing. Bring those arms up overhead, palms touch. And exhale, palms at the chest. Taking those feet out wide now. You can come down to the width distance of the mat and then turn the toes out slightly. Sitting down into our yoga squat, so our malasana. I want you to start to bend into those legs. Make sure the knees are starting to draw out wide and then slowly sinking those hips down. Just making sure that those heels don't start to lift. If it's more comfortable for you to bring your feet in a little bit closer or maybe even a little bit further apart. But I really want you to think about drawing those knees out wide. You can even use the backs of the arms and then feeling like we're opening up through that chest, lengthening out through the spine. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. Take a little rock, a little wiggle, sinking into those hips. Inhale and exhale. From here, start to bring your hands behind you. I want you to lower down into the seated position, and we're going to work a little bit on our core here. So finding our high boat position, what I want you to do is take a hold of the backs of the knees, the backs of the thighs, and then start to roll the shoulders back, lifting that chest, feeling this nice long spine, making sure we're not rounding in our back. And then from here, I want you to come onto your toes, and we'll see if we can lift one foot up, and then maybe the other foot up. Making sure that those shins are parallel with the ground. From here, we roll the shoulders back, lengthen out that spine once again. If you want, you can start to take the hands away and reach them out towards those feet. Squeeze that core here. I want you to pull that belly button in. Squeeze the knees together. Inhale. And exhale to stay. If you want a little extra, you're going to have a little go at straightening those legs. For me, that makes my legs shake. So I'm going to stay here. Inhaling. And exhaling. From here, I want you to inhale, slowly lower down all the way into this hollow dish position. So that lower back is flat on the ground, the shoulders are rounded, the feet are lifted. Squeeze that core. We exhale, lift back up into that high boat. Squeeze those knees in. If you want, you can use the backs. So you can use your hands on the backs of the legs to draw yourself up. Keep that core engaged. We inhale, lower back down. Exhale, drawing yourself back up. Now again, inhale, lower. Exhale. Inhale, lower. Core engaged the whole time. Exhale, lifting back up. 5 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Inhale, nice hollow dish. Squeeze that core. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, lower down. Exhale. Back to that boat position. And then bring those feet in. Give yourself a little squeeze. You can roll onto your back. Bring those knees into the chest. Rocking side to side. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. It can feel quite nice to just circle those knees, getting into those hips a little bit. It's quite a lot on those hip flexors. Big breath in and out. From here, we're just going to rock up back to that seated position. We're going to come back into our high boat position, but we're finding a different little exercise here. What I want you to do, take a hold of the back to the knees, bring those shins up, find that high boat, roll the shoulders back, core engaged. Inhale here, I want you to lift the arms up, lift that chest. Exhale here, take both hands, twist and over towards that right hand side. Tap those hands down. If you want extra support, you can bring those feet down. But we inhale, lift the arms back up, core tight. Exhale, hands over towards the left. Find that twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, lift those arms, lift that chest. Exhale to the right. If you're feeling this in your lower back, bring those feet back down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the right. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale to the left. One more each side. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, right. Squeeze that core. Inhale. Exhale, left. Last time we come up. Inhale. And then exhale, bring those feet back down. Roll onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest. Squeezing them in. You can draw some circles with those knees. Getting that breath back into the body, into those muscles. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, we're going to start to rock forwards and backwards. Rounding that back, rolling forwards and backwards, rolling through the spine. Start to create momentum, create that rock. And then we're going to come all the way forwards into a seated, not a seated, but into a standing position in this forward fold. I challenge you to see if you can not use your hands to get yourself up. We're coming all the way up. You might need to walk yourself a little bit towards the top of the mat. Have those feet hip distance apart, a little bend in the legs. And once again, just let that body hang over. Swaying side to side. Inhaling. And exhaling. From here, rolling up to standing. I want to bring the arms all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Take a little back bend here. Start to press those hips forwards. And lift the chest. Can you take those hands a little bit towards the back of the room? And then exhale. Bring the palms at the chest. Elbows out wide. Once again, bring those feet together. So toes touching, heels slightly apart. We're going to come into our chair pose here. So start to bend into the legs. It's almost like we were in our boat pose. Just squeeze those knees together. And you want those knees to not come past those toes. So make sure they're drawing back. Squeeze that core. We inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. Inhale. As we exhale, straighten the legs, we take a forward fold. Inhale here, halfway lift, flat back. As we exhale, plant the hands. You can step or you can hop back through your chaturanga. Halfway down. This time we're going to lower all the way onto the belly wherever we are, untucking the toes. From here, I want you to take your hands all the way back behind you. See if you can interlace those hands behind your back. If not, you can just take a hold of a bit of your clothing. But what I want you to do is roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, start to lift the chest. Inhaling here. Can you reach those hands a little further away from the back? Can we activate those legs to see if we can lift the feet The knees, maybe even the thighs start to lift off the mat. Inhale here. And then exhale. Slowly lower those hands back down, bringing the hands underneath those shoulders, either finding cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Once we're there, we inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale to bend the knee, open up the hip, taking your wild thing. We inhale, shift forwards. Drop that left knee if we want to, or keep it lifted. We let that body open up towards the ceiling. Press those hips forwards and up. Inhaling here. Exhale, looking back down towards the mat. Everyone taking it back to our three-legged dog. Right leg up and back. Exhale, stepping that foot through as close as we can between those hands. Just checking in this time, I want to keep that back knee lifted. Those feet make sure that they're hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, strong through those legs. We inhale, standing up into our high lunge. Reach those arms up. Inhaling here, bend into that front leg. Exhale, sink into the hips a little bit more. From here now, I want to drop the back heel down. We're going to cactus the arms out wide, so bending at the elbows, open that chest. And then draw those hands all the way back behind us and interlacing behind our backs once again. We inhale here, roll the shoulders back, lifting the chest. As we exhale, we bow down all the way on the inside of that front leg. Can you get that right shoulder to come close towards that right knee? Make sure the neck is released, just let that head be heavy. Those shoulders are opening, those hands drawing away from the body. Strong through those feet, bending into that front leg, sinking into the hips. Inhale here, and exhale. From here, we're going to come all the way back up, lift those arms, find ourselves back into our high lunge. So coming onto those back toes, lift those arms, inhale. Exhale, take the hands down, find ourselves back in our downward facing dog, hips up and back. And going through the other side. We inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to bend the knee, open up that hip. Again, finding our wild thing, we shift forwards. You can drop that right knee or keep it lifted. We let those toes touch all the way back behind. Press those hips up, open the chest towards the ceiling. Inhaling here. As we exhale, everyone taking it back. Three-legged dog, left leg up and back. As we exhale, that foot steps all the way through. I want you to check in, make sure you've got that nice strong foundation in the legs. We inhale, standing up into our high lunge. Lift those arms, bending into the front leg. Back heel drawing behind. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to drop that back heel down now, strong through those legs. We cactus the arms out wide and let those hands start to draw all the way back behind, interlacing behind our backs. From here, roll the shoulders back, start to lift the chest, inhale. As we exhale, we're going to bow down all the way on the inside of that left leg. That left shoulder wants to come on the inside of that left knee, so bend into that front leg a little bit more, opening up into the hips, and those shoulders, finding our humble warrior. Inhale, exhale. As we release the hands, we sweep all the way back up to our high lunge, coming onto those back toes. Lift those arms, inhale. Exhale, bring those hands down, frame that front foot, stepping all the way back to our downward facing dog. I want you to take 3 nice long breaths here. If you want, we can lower those knees down. Take our child's pose. Just give those wrists and those shoulders a little bit of a rest. Just focusing in on that breath. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhaling. And exhale. If you're in child's pose, just making our way back to our downward dog. Hips up and back. Inhaling. As we exhale, I want you to bend the knees, look between the hands. You can step, walk, or hop the feet up. We inhale, find a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Sitting back into our chair, bend those legs, sink those hips down. We inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, come to standing, bring the palms at the chest, elbows out wide. We go again, sit into that chair pose, bend into the legs, sweep those arms up, core engaged, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale now, halfway lift, find that flat back. And exhale, plant the hands, step or hopping back through your chaturanga. Halfway down and then lowering all the way onto the belly like we did before. Untucking those toes, either coming back into that locust pose where we interlace the hands behind our backs, or find bow, we bend the legs and see if we can take a hold of those feet or those ankles with your hands. Wherever we are, we roll the shoulders back, lift that chest. If you're in bow, start to kick the feet into the hands. See if you can lift those legs off the ground. Roll those shoulders back, inhale. And exhale, slowly lower back down, releasing those feet. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders. I just want you to gently rock those hips a little bit side to side, release that lower back. And then coming into our upward facing dog. Press down through those hands, press through those feet, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the core, take the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. From here, we inhale, lift the right leg up. We know where we're going. Exhale, bend the knee and straight away start to shift forwards and fall into our wild thing. You can let that knee come down if you want. Open that chest towards the ceiling. Inhaling here, press those hips a little higher. Exhale, we come all the way back. Flip that dog all the way back to our three-legged dog. Right leg up and back. As we exhale, bringing that foot through. Setting up for our high lunge. Strong in those legs now. We inhale, come all the way up. High lunge, lift those arms. As we exhale, drop the back heel down. We cactus the arms out wide, let those hands come all the way back behind us, interlacing behind our backs. Inhale now, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Exhale, humble warrior, folding down. That shoulder comes on the inside of that knee, let the head be heavy. Bend into that front leg, sinking into those hips. Inhale, and exhale. As we inhale now, we unravel those arms, sweeping back to that high lunge. Bring those arms up overhead. This time as we exhale, I want you to start to shift that torso forwards over that front thigh. Here you can bring those hands onto those hips or out wide, or you can keep them up over the head. But start to focus on something in front of you. I want you to hop that back foot in a little bit. We start to shift the weight forwards, feeling that weight go into that front leg. And we slowly start to float that back leg up. We're working with our warrior three now, the strong leg balance. Squeeze that core. Inhaling here. As we exhale, bend back into that front leg. Let those toes touch back down. We lift back up into our high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, take those hands down, stepping straight back to your downward facing dog. Woo! Going through that other side now. Building up some strength. We inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and straight away start to shift forwards, finding your wild thing, your variation. Press those hips up, open the chest, inhale. As we exhale, looking back down towards the mat, everyone taking it back. Three-legged dog. Inhale, that left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, that left foot sweeps all the way through, planting it at the top of the mat. Strong through those legs now, we come all the way up into our high lunge. Strong. Inhale, lift those arms. Straight away, exhale, I want to drop the back heel down. Cactus the arms out wide, open the chest, and let those hands come all the way back behind the interlacing. Inhale now, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, bowing down. Sinking that chest towards the ground. Left shoulder towards left knee. Bend into that front leg. Let the head be heavy. Inhale. And exhale. One big sweeping motion. We inhale, coming all the way back up into our high lunge. Lift those arms. Exhale, now you can bring those hands down to any variation, finding our warrior three. So start to shift that torso forwards. Focus on that spot in front of you. Hopping the back foot in. We shift the weight forwards, 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 core strong, and then start to float that back leg up. Squeezing the inner thighs together, the back heel drawing behind you. Inhale here. As we exhale, bending back into that standing leg, lifting all the way back up into our high lunge. Reach those arms up. As we exhale, bring those hands down, coming back to our downward facing dog. And then from here, I want you to bring the knees down, untuck the toes, sinking into our child's pose. Giving yourself this well-deserved rest now. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. You can even rock a little bit side to side. Inhale. And exhale. From here, I want you to inhale, roll all the way up to our hero's pose. So this kneeling position at the back of the mat. We then inhale, stand up onto our knees. Just make sure those knees are hip distance apart. Inhale here, reach the arms up. As we exhale, cactus the arms out wide like we did in our high lunge, drawing those elbows back, opening the chest. Can you lift the gaze? Inhale, now we reach the arms back up, and exhale, take those hips back down to our child's pose. Inhale here, exhale to stay. Making sure that those hands are shoulder distance apart, planting them down. We tuck the toes underneath, lift the hips up. Find that downward facing dog once again. Last little bit of effort now before we start to slow things down. We're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Once again, exhale, bring that foot all the way through between those hands. Big step up. Setting up for that high lunge, we inhale, reach the arms up. This time a little different. Exhale, we to cactus the arms out wide. And then from here, let those hands come all the way back behind. Find that interlace. We're going to roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Now I'm challenging yourself, or I'm challenging you, to take this warrior three, but still with those hands interlaced behind our backs. If you are wobbling, it's okay, we can let those hands come out to the side. So really working with slow transitions now. Start to take that gaze forwards on the ground. We shift that torso over that front thigh. Those hands are still interlaced. We can take that little hop in with that back leg. Start to shift the weight forwards, forwards, forwards over that front leg, and then slowly start to lift that back leg up. Squeeze the core. Make sure that that floating foot is flexed so that heel is drawing behind. And then slowly now, bending back into that front leg, let those toes touch down, release those hands, inhale, reach them up. We straighten that front leg now, and exhale, fold down into our pyramid. Bring those hands down either side of that shin. Inhale, find a halfway lift, find that flat back. And exhale, fold. And again, inhale. And exhaling. If you want, you can find a little bit of a twist. So we leave that left hand underneath the shoulder and start to inhale, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Opening that chest, pulling that right hip back. So you start to feel this stretch through that IT band, the outer hip. Inhale here. And exhale to stay. And again, inhale. As we exhale, I want you to look down towards the mat. Bend into that front leg. I'll give you the option to step to downward dog or option for a vinyasa, your choice. Inhale. And exhale. So last of the standing poses now on this left hand side. We inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale to step that foot through between those hands, strong through those legs. We inhale, come all the way up into that high lunge, reach those arms up. As we exhale, we start to cactus the arms out wide, open that chest, and let those hands come all the way back behind, interlacing. Once again, roll those shoulders back, lift the chest up, inhale. And then we come through into that warrior three. So start to take the torso forwards. Taking that focus on a spot in front, we start to hop the back foot up. So you're feeling that weight into that left leg. We shift forwards, 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 float that back leg up. Make sure that that leg, all the muscles are active, so flex that floating foot, that heel is drawing behind. Roll those shoulders back, inhale. Exhale now, bend back into that standing leg, step the back toes back. Big sweep, inhale, reach those arms up. We then straighten that front leg, exhale, fold down. Pyramid pose, bring those hands down. Enjoy this stretch. Inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back. Exhale to fold. You can add that twist now. We start to lift the left arm up, open that chest towards the left. Pulling that left hip back, squeeze the inner thighs together, inhale. Exhale to stay. And again, inhale. This time, exhale, bring that hand back down. Bend into that front leg. Last vinyasa, take it or leave it, your choice. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Bringing those knees down. Untuck the toes, find that child's pose once again. You can take a little wiggle, or just getting that breath back into that body. Inhale. And exhale. Enjoying the stillness. From here, slowly start to walk the hands back up towards the knees, finding that hero's pose again. We're going to stand up onto those knees once again. This time I want you to tuck the toes underneath and just check in, make sure that those knees are hip distance apart, so they're not together or they're not too far apart, but they're right underneath those hip bones. Start to press those hips forwards. And then from here, I want you to bring your hands on towards your lower back or just on the top of your butt, like you're sliding your hands into jeans pockets. We want to draw those elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then have that core nice and engaged here. We start to gently rock the body back, making sure we're still keeping that nice long line from the knees all the way up towards the shoulders. And then inhale back through center. So we're just protecting that lower back here. We exhale, slowly start to rock back, core engaged. Inhale back up through center. This time we gently start to rock back. We can bring one hand down to one heel, staying here, or you can take the other hand down towards the other heel. Wherever we are, one-handed or two, we start to press those hips forwards, opening up through those shoulders. And then if you want, you can let that head fall behind, opening up through the throat, closing the eyes, press those hips forwards, inhale, and exhale. To slowly come back out, I want you to take those hips back a little bit towards those heels, squeeze that core, bring those hands back on towards that lower back, and then lift ourselves all the way back up. Untucking the toes, take the hips back down towards the heels. And then from here, just gently find a twist over towards the right. Bring that right hand to the outside, or bring that left hand, to the outside of that right thigh. Right hand comes behind. Twisting through that back. Inhale and exhale. Other side, sweeping all the way across, left hand behind, right hand to the outside of that left leg. Gently pressing against that leg, twisting through the spine. Inhale and exhale. Back through center now. We're going to roll onto the outside of that left hip and let that right leg go out in front and keep that left knee in, that left foot in. You may want to turn a little bit onto the side of your mat, just so we're finding more of this wider stance with our legs. So from here, just make sure that those toes, those right toes, are rolling up and back. So you've got this external rotation of that leg, so that foot's not falling in. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, find space in those ribs, find space in that side body. And then as we exhale, reach that right arm over towards that right foot. Left arm's going to come up and maybe a little bit over towards that right hand side as well. I just want you to make sure that that chest stays open. We're not rolling that body down. We're feeling more of this stretch in that lower back and those ribs. Inhale here. And exhale to reach. If you want, you can use that right hand or that right forearm and gently press on the inside of that right leg to roll that body open and that chest open a little bit more. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. You can close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Exhale, reach a little further. This time, inhale, come all the way back up through center. Gently switching the legs. Bring that right foot in now. That left leg comes out towards the side. Checking in with that foot. Make sure it's externally rotating. Those toes are rolling back. We then inhale, reach those arms up. Find space in the side. And then exhale, left hand comes down. Right arm reaches up and over. Checking in, make sure your chest is open. And again, you can use that left arm, use that forearm, pressing against the inside of that left leg to barrel chest or barrel roll that chest open. Inhale here. Exhale to stay, closing the eyes. Feeling this in that lower back, in those ribs, maybe even in those hips a little bit. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling again. Exhale, reaching. This time, inhale, come all the way up through center. From here, we're to then extend that right foot out towards the side. We find ourselves in our straddle splits. So if you want, you can bring the legs a little bit closer together. You can even have a little micro bend in those legs if you're feeling super tight or strong in those hamstrings. But still checking in, making sure that those feet are externally rotating. And then from here, just gently start to walk those hands out in front, finding this little fold. You can close your eyes. Inhale where you are. Exhale, can you walk those hands out a little bit further? Deepening into the stretch with every breath you take. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in and out. Can you reach a little further? Slowing it down, nice long breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Closing the eyes. Gently now, take your time, slowly come back up. And then from here, taking a hold of the back of the knees one at a time, just bring those knees in. Give them a little shake, a little squeeze, and then facing back towards the front of the room, or the front of the mat. We're going to roll all the way down onto our backs. Bringing that left knee into the chest, let the right leg go out long. Squeezing that knee in. And then gently let that knee fall over towards the right, finding that twist. Eyes are closed. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Exhale to stay. Back through center. Letting that left leg go out long, bring the right knee into the chest, drawing it in, inhale. Exhale, finding that twist over towards the left. Eyes closed. Breathe into the belly. And exhale. Gently now coming back through center. Taking your time, find your shavasana. Getting yourself nice and comfortable. Let the legs go out long. Feet fall apart. Arms by the sides, palms facing up. As eyes are closed. And just letting the body melt away into the ground. Letting all that lovely work that we've done, all that hard work, just completely take hold of the body. And you get the true benefits of the class now. Letting it all soak in. Starting to bring some awareness back into the body. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Deepening the breath. Gradually building that movement back into the body. Circling the wrists, the ankles. And then reaching those arms all the way up overhead, finding that full body stretch. And then exhale. And to roll over onto your side. Knees into the chest. Give yourself a moment. And then taking your time, we'll come all the way up. A nice comfortable seated position. And then once we're there, as eyes are still closed, Bring the palms together. Just take this time. Thank yourself for doing this class. I thank you for doing it with me. Namaste.